I'm host this time.
I already put nope.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at that. That's
Clickbait Sports, DraftKings.com.
The following episode is not sponsored by DraftKings.
I forgot there's music and sponsors in that intro. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we got copyrighted already.
Well, does YouTube really claim Heinz Kissling, though? That's the only thing.
I don't think so.
No, they will claim it if whoever made it. So the music can be in public domain, but whoever played the original music will claim it because that's how greedy everyone is.
That's how the world works.
That's how the world works.
I think
if
I want to say his works are in.
So who's hosting this episode? Or...
I put my finger on my nose before
I put my finger on my nose.
I crushed
You know what? It feels right that I host this episode only for the fact that the Orlando Magic will be picking the first overall. Y'all see the jersey? The first overall pick, 8 o'clock. It's happening. But before we get to that, I guess we'll just start.
What is that jersey?
Oh, this is our city jersey, the alt.
Oh, the city jersey.
It looks pretty fresh.
Disney sponsored
2019. Yes,
very
nice.
Disney. But we'll start with NHL. Okay, we'll start 5 Tree, Brandon Perna. Were you guys watching this game? Game 4, NHL Stanley Cup Finals. It went into overtime.
USFL.
Let's get some rapid reaction. Brandon Perna, you're an Avalanche fan. Tell me what you saw. Go.
I saw the Avs not having enough men on the ice, and they still won. I'll tell you what I did not see was that puck going into the goal. I was fooled, like everyone.
It actually got stuck up in the top corner.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
I just thought like I'm very insecure when I watch hockey because I'm like not super knowledgeable. And so I reacted thinking it went in, and then I was like, oh, it clearly didn't. I'm just an idiot who can't watch the game correctly. And luckily everybody was tricked. Everybody was fooled by that goal.
Yeah.
And the poetry of it being Nas coming in to hit that game winner after a great postseason. He gets injured, gets thumb surgery 2 weeks ago, shouldn't even be playing, and he is the guy, the hero, the former villain turned hero, like a Star Wars caricature.
5,
That's
set
what it
us
was.
up. You also saw the game last night. For those who may not know the lore behind what's going on right now, can you set us up? What's going on in this Stanley Cup Finals? It's Game 4. Avalanche are up 3-1. Set the story for us.
Listen, this is what I hate about the playoffs is they all say this game is must win, right? Like every game in the playoffs is must win. And the Lightning really needed that win to even the series if they want any hope of winning this. And they came out strong. They had a 2-1 lead. They had a 1-0 lead. They had a 2-1 lead. They gave up a goal late. Now this
goal was kind of fluky. It actually just punched off Cogliano.
A little fluky, the second goal to tie it up. But here's the thing. If you don't have the puck and you're just letting Colorado take all the shots that they want, it was a very bold strategy to start the overtime by letting Colorado camp in their zone and just take shots at the net.
Okay, here's my
here's my defense.
Before you interject, Tree, before you get that interjection, Tree, this is what I was seeing. I just saw that this was a Lightning team that looked tired. They looked gassed. You're coming off a Colorado Avalanche team. They've been rested. They've been waiting for you. Tree, does that play into effect at all?
A little
or
bit.
were they
Also,
just
have to
outplayed?
remember they played more hockey than anyone else in the last 3 years. If you count the last 3 seasons, they played probably 20 games apiece, maybe more. You're looking at almost an extra season worth of games, intense games. And also, don't forget, they only had 5 defensemen in that overtime as well. Chernak was out, I believe, in the second period. Plus, I think Cirelli was nursing an injury. Nick Paul was nursing an injury. They're banged up. I mean, unfortunately, the toll of having, the physical toll of paying for those Stanley Cup victories, unfortunately, is starting to come into effect. And, I mean, Vasilevsky's playing his damn heart out. But at the same time, there's not much you can do. And, by the way, that was 5:45. I know the D word is technically in the Bible. So, you know what? That passes.
The other thing is now they're down 3-1. They tried to get that 2-1 lead and rely on Vasilevsky, thinking that would hold up, and that's not the NHL now. You can't really sit on a 1-goal lead because
not against the
it's
Avs.
gonna break. Yeah, not against the Avs. And unfortunately,
let's give Darcy Kemper some love for showing out last night. Lots of criticism, especially locally. People here in Denver were calling him the Trent Dilfer of goalies, the Brad Johnson of goalies, these hot take artists. I'm going to tell you something. Kemper played well.
As a Lightning fan.
Also,
okay,
Avs had some injuries too. So let's.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's beat up right now.
I mean,
it is a war
it's the
attrition
playoffs, but I mean,
to
the
win
only
the
one
Stanley
really up
Cup
for you guys
finals.
is Kadri.
You're going to have to overcome injury.
No, I mean, not Kadri. I mean, Gerard.
Burakovsky out as well.
The Bolts perspective, though. Okay, I'm a Lightning fan. We're on year 4 of being a Bolts fan. Here's what I saw. I saw us coming out fast. We came out to play, scoring quick, and then all of the sudden, period 2 happens, and it seems like we just slow down for whatever reason. We stopped the attack, and we just slowed down, and we allowed Colorado to begin to attack us. And honestly, it never let up since then. We never countered since the second period. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this series plays out. Can the Bolts win 3 games in a row? Yes or no? Urinating Tree.
No. Go to Urinating Tree's video and make sure you like my comment that says Avs in 5 when he predicted Tampa to win. And it's going to happen here in
5.
I don't agree with that.
Can the Tampa Bay Lightning win 3 games in a row? Yes or no?
No. Tree and I also had a bet that I said I took Colorado in 6. Tree took the Lightning in 6, and he has to eat a banana on stream live and make contact with everyone. Make eye contact with everyone as he does it.
Oh, okay.
So
I got to slick the hair back too.
Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Brandon Perna, can the Tampa Bay Lightning win 3 games in a row?
Anything can happen in sports, and I'm not going to be the guy who sits here and says that it's absolutely impossible for those jokesters, those complainers to go out and win 3 in a row against the greatest hockey team. Many are saying in the last 100 years, the Colorado Avalanche. So,
okay.
Listen, I believe we're going to get it on record. Bolts in 7. Anything is possible. Let's go.
I believe the O2 Red Wings have something to say about that.
Say it again?
I believe the O2 Red Wings have something to say about that.
Okay.
I'd say
is that the only team to ever come back from a 3-1? I think the odds. I remember I researched this. No one team came back from 0-3 in like 1926 or some crap.
Yeah, in the Cup final, but not in the modern era.
Yeah, not in the modern era. I think only maybe twice a game 7 has even been forced in the final. So the odds statistically are way against you.
Listen, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Let's get Tom back in this conversation, though. Let's switch over to NFL. We have Gronk retiring. Let's start there. Gronk's out of here. But we did see that he made a tweet saying, if Tom Brady needs me, I'm there. I'll come out of retirement for this man. What are we thinking here? Rapid reaction. Gronk retires. Tom, do you care? Does anyone care?
I think he is arguably the greatest tight end in NFL history. And I am not convinced that he's retired because I feel like if the Buccaneers are a playoff contending team in November, December, Brady can pick up the phone and Gronk is be like, all right, I'm not doing anything else. And then he's just going to show up to practice one day because that's how Brady runs the organization. So
you said Gronk might be the best tight end ever. Is that true?
Yeah.
You believe that in your heart?
Yeah. I mean, there's other tight ends that we could talk about, but I mean, the Gronk, a prime Gronk was literally unstoppable.
Let's put this for the question of the day. Chat, let us know who is your best.
I'm going to be completely honest, dude.
Ever.
Him and Aaron Hernandez killed the competition,
dude.
Okay, all right. I feel like it's
16 touchdowns combined their rookie seasons.
Listen, I'm a
They were all over the place.
I've heard all of them. Every joke you have to say, I've heard it 3.
I wasn't even trying to joke. I was just saying they did.
Tony Gonzalez was amazing. Tony Gonzalez is top 10.
I got Tony Gonzalez up there. You got
Antonio Gates.
Sharp.
Yep.
Shannon Sharp for sure.
You got to Jason Witten's in in that conversation.
Witten is in the conversation.
Kellen Winslow,
let us know, chat, who's
Mike
your best
Ditka.
tight end? But 5. Do we think this man is going to be retired? Do we think he's going to come out of retirement? What are the Gronk vibes right now?
I mean, he's already quit twice now. Maybe he's just tired, but I think this is a ploy to get him to skip training camp. You know how the older players, they're just I don't want to practice. Just let me go out on Sunday and play. I think this is what he's doing. He's just I'm going to retire. And then on September 8th, whenever he's going to be all right, I got to get in shape because he's a freak of nature. I don't think he actually even gets in shape. I think he just shows up and he's I'm the greatest tight end ever.
If I could interject, I found it so interesting when we saw he lost so much muscle mass 1 year. Do you guys remember this? We saw a picture and he just looked like how I look basically right now. Just lost a whole bunch of muscle mass. I don't know. Do you think this has anything to do with it? Maybe.
I don't know.
All Gronk has to do to get into football shape is he just cuts his alcohol consumption in half. He just halves it, and he's like, okay,
he's all right.
And then he's in.
Let's go to in-season drinking.
Okay,
not off-season.
We continue with some more NFL news. Deshaun Watson settling 20 out of the 24 cases. What does this mean? Why do we think he settled it now? Has someone said, yo, you need to do this or you're not playing? And then I saw some other tweets saying, this man's getting suspended for a year no matter what happens. What are you guys seeing about the Deshaun Watson case? What's been going on? What are you hearing? Anyone want to take this first?
I just want to say congrats to Deshaun Watson for completing level 1 of this, of his great adventure. 20 out of 24, low-level bosses right there. He got it done relatively quickly right there, but now he has 4 big bosses coming up. Then after he gets past that level, he's got the NFL to deal with.
The final boss.
And then he's got to actually play football. So, congrats to him and his legal team for getting past level 1.
He needs to grind in the early game. That would really give him a big advantage.
But what have you guys actually heard about this? Do you guys know why all of the sudden this case was just settled?
He's been trying to settle it for a while, actually. I don't know if you guys know this or this is what you guys have said about it. He wanted to get it all done at once. And he was like, look, I'll give everybody 100,000, whatever, 200,000. These last 4, I guess, maybe something more egregious happened with these last 4 where they're like, funny that you asked, Deshaun. We don't want your money. We want a lot of your money. And so I think that these 4 might have a more, or they're just angrier at him. I don't know. We'll never know the details of these first 20 because
they will honestly expunge it. They'll expunge it.
Yeah.
And NDAs.
Anything, all the NDAs, it's all speculation and untruth now. That's why I'm saying he pulled a coup, and I guess he's probably every day that goes by, things are getting worse for him, and he just wants to get it done.
That's fair. We're having some technical issues with my video, but we're going to keep this conversation going. Tom, what have you heard about this settling with Deshaun Watson? Why do you think this is taking place?
I mean, why right this second? I feel like there probably was some internal pressure from the Browns organization. They're like, hey, there's these things are coming out every week now. If we could try to just, maybe just take out half of them, that'd be great. And instead they settled with 20 out of 24. Wasn't there a time where Deshaun Watson was like, I'm never going to settle though?
Yeah.
I think there was, that happened a couple times.
That's welcomed a criminal
awkward.
investigation.
But yeah, so there's 4 left now, but I mean, it's far from over because the things that I have read is that the fact that he settled it is not really going to have an impact on his punishment because his punishment is going to be his punishment. So I think it's going to be a full season. And then I think the Browns are praying that in that year, whatever happens, whether they're so crappy or what have, which by the way, the Texans would love if he got suspended for a year and the Browns get like a top 10 draft pick because of it. They'd be very happy. But I think ultimately Watson is going to have himself a time, but the Browns are hoping that in a year, no one's going to remember.
Especially considering Baker Mayfield rumors to Seattle are starting to heat up a little more.
Oh,
it's only a matter of time before Mayfield is traded somewhere.
So let's go there.
He's gone.
Let's go.
Wait, one last thing before we go.
Let's close it out. 5.
My biggest thing that I would find so funny is if when Watson finally gets on the field that Cleveland sucks, that they are just terrible. Like, that they win 4 games with him or something, like they go 4-12, 4-13, or they win 3 games, everything looks great, and he tears an ACL just out of karma.
You know what? I'd be fine with it.
And they're right back to square one
fine with it.
In a hilarious karmatic sign of justice.
It's like how Tyreek Hill got no suspension in 2019, and then he gets injured out for 6 games anyway, so it kind of felt like a suspension. So
yeah, what needs to happen is if he comes back to play, the Browns are exactly as good talent-wise as the Texans were when he wanted out of Houston. Like Myles Garrett decides to just retire early. Nick Chubb leaves in free agency somewhere else. Denzel Ward decides he doesn't want to play for the Browns anymore. So it's just like the same talent level. And then whatever else after that.
Or like Amari Cooper is like the greatest wide receiver in the league this upcoming season. And then they trade him to Arizona for a 2nd-round pick.
Yes.
Come full circle.
No, Watson suspended for 4 years and he comes back and JJ Watt is still trying to play on defense for them.
Yeah. Can we have Amari Cooper back for a 5th-round pick? Just let me know. Like, I can coordinate.
You don't have the cap for it, brother.
I have some phone numbers.
No, that's why
let's continue. Traded. We're going to stay with the Browns. Okay. The Browns have made a lot of people upset by taking this quarterback and Deshaun Watson, trading for him. Number 1 being their current quarterback, Baker Mayfield, the only quarterback who's won a playoff game for their organization in the past 797 years. They've managed to upset this man. What are they going to do with him? Tree, how do we think this resolves? What the heck?
He's going to be on a different uniform by the start of this year. There are more rumors popping up about him going to Seattle. They are highly interested, which means that they're going to sign him immediately once he's cut, because there's no way they're going with Drew Lock and Geno Smith as their 2 starting quarterbacks unless they're just straight up tanking for a quarterback.
You have no faith in Geno. 5.
And then Carolina's always been in those rumors as well. Maybe a sleeper team's in there too. But at the same time, like the line between Baker and Cleveland, it's kind of like this. You have this nice line. There's a bridge over. Everyone's riding around, and then the entire bridge collapses on itself, and then everyone falls into a horrible chasm. That is how Cleveland and Baker Mayfield is going on. And the sad part is, once again, we wouldn't be dealing with a situation if Baker Mayfield was on IR instead of playing with a messed up shoulder that messed up his throwing mechanics. So and I wanted to say the F-bomb so bad, but I didn't. Give me my money now.
All right.
So are we okay? That's fair. That's fair. Brandon, where is Baker Mayfield starting this football season? Game 1. Where is this man going to be?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
You know what's this is what I don't understand.
Tell me.
The Browns obviously want to get something for Baker Mayfield, right? They gave up everything to get Watson, and now they can't get anything for Baker. Apparently, the Panthers were still interested, but the Panthers didn't want to pay enough of Baker's salary to make the Browns happy. The Browns have like $41 million in cap space right now. They have the second most in cap space. So I don't understand why they won't eat the majority of his contract just to get this issue off their plate, unless they think they can convince Baker to actually play.
I'm sorry.
The best joke of the show.
If Baker was like, you know what, guys, water under the bridge, I'll play. And he just chucks the ball into the ground for every single play. Oh, sorry,
and he would
guys,
still have a better quarterback rating than Baker did in certain games this past.
Baker's such a gamer; he wouldn't do that. He would not.
But it'd be amazing. Like just WWE style, like he throws a pick the first play, it's a pick six, and he rips off his jersey to reveal the opposing team's jersey. Like, let's go full soap opera, because why not?
Heel.
Well, what's going to happen is he's going to let Nick Chubb get killed in the backfield, and then he's going to bring out a black spray can and then write NWO all over him, and then just like reveal that he's Hollywood.
And just air guitars off the field.
Right. So Tom, you're of the belief that Baker Mayfield is not playing another game in his lifetime for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God. I mean, they brought in Jacoby Brissett, I think, because they understood there was no way that Mayfield is going to play for them. I think it's a matter of wanting to get something for him. The contract is sure to be an issue, but I think the Browns have come to realize that they have no leverage here whatsoever. I mean, because if you're the Seahawks, right, you have Geno Smith, you have Drew Lock. I'm not saying you're going to be good, but Baker Mayfield, I don't think is bringing them to the playoffs either, because I think that the Seahawks just need some help that's more than just at the QB position. So they could not do so well this season, get a really great draft pick. It's a good QB class next year, and then swing with that. And it's the same exact thing with a lot of these other teams. The Panthers could do the same thing. I know they just drafted a guy, but there's options for those teams out there.
Yeah, Matty C.
Yeah, the Seahawks, I feel like, need a quarterback this season more than the Panthers, but that's the only way.
The Panthers also, remember, they're not throwing out Sam Darnold again. I mean, you can't.
Why can't you, Tree?
But I know he says that he's a capable NFL quarterback, that he can do what he wants, and there's nothing wrong with a little confidence. But we saw you play after those first 3 games. It was bad. They threw you out for a burned-out Cam Newton with a shoulder made of ramen noodles.
I will say,
ramen noodles.
Their offensive line was horrendous last year. Like
the Steelers have their O-line coach, so that's great. Also, Cam Irving's their blind side, which is a big.
It wasn't great.
So let's put a button on this. We're saying that under no circumstance will Baker Mayfield play a game for the Browns, and essentially, whatever teams that were interested in Deshaun Watson, those are going to be the same teams that are interested in Baker Mayfield. Is that what we're saying?
But like, what about the Saints? They were really interested in Deshaun Watson. How come they're not in rumored?
They have Jameis.
Right, but I'm saying, how would you rather have famous Jameis or Baker Mayfield?
Jameis Winston.
I'd have Jameis because at the same thing, he's been marinated in that system for years. But he's also showed flashes of brilliance last year. He'd be an elite quarterback if he stopped turning the ball over. Let's be real.
Well, he's
got the arm. He's got just the break, the athletic ability. He's got the instincts. It's just he throws way too many picks. His decision making is suspect.
He has elite level workouts. I'll tell you that. I expect him to be. You ever see that guy that works out in the gym with he's on the bike on top of the squat rack? Like, I expect Jameis to be doing that this offseason.
Jameis does have some interesting workouts. I'm checking the tweet. Who's the best tight end of all time? We got a lot of Tony Gonzalez, a lot of Shannon Sharps, Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome was a great tight end and great executive.
And a lot of Gronks. One Antonio Gates. Okay, we're going to keep this thing moving forward, though. Right here we have Congress is now getting involved with grilling the Washington Commanders. 5 or Tree, you guys want to set this one up? What's going on in
5,
Congress?
take this away, brother.
So I don't know what is exactly happening. Why is Congress? We have got so many problems as a country right now. Gas is $8.50 a gallon. Inflation is through the roof. Like, our money doesn't mean crap anymore. We can't
Supply chain's a hot mess. We can't fly because all the
Yeah.
flights are getting delayed.
Flying is terrible. Everyone's arguing over the Second Amendment, and Congress is like, you know what we need to do?
You know what?
We need to look into the thing that everyone loves, the NFL. We need to investigate. I think it's around what, minority hiring? Is that what this
I think
investigation
it's
is?
not just that. I think it's about harassment in the workplace.
I'm just saying, what is it? I have no idea what
It's about
they're
harassment in the
investigating.
workplace. It's about
That's
it's
why,
all-
okay.
because I represent the common man.
Tom, take it
The
away.
American
Go for it,
citizen.
buddy. Go for it, Perna.
Nobody
Perna
knows
just did a
what this
video
is
on this.
about. Something
Okay.
about Dan Snyder.
Hold on.
Perna dropped a video
Hold
like an hour
everything.
and a
This
half
is like
ago
the
on this.
50s. They're
5
coming after the commies.
Relax, Brandon. Can you take a? Why is Congress investigating the Washington?
Well,
Commanders?
Perna just make something
Brandon,
up.
Set us up. Take it away.
Yeah, somebody that knows, please explain this.
Dude, to Adam's credit, this is very confusing if you look at what they're trying to figure out. And there's a great article The Athletic posted with the timeline of everything that's happened. And you will just be scrolling for days and days of Dan Snyder and the Washington football team. They are talking to Roger Goodell. They just talked to Roger Goodell.
That was great.
And it was
They
great.
grilled him well done.
Even though Congress half of them made a joke about it by asking him dumb questions about Dave Portnoy and other
Deflategate.
stuff.
And did they ask
That
him
is
for
it.
tickets? Were
Yeah.
they like, hey, Roger, can you set us up with some box seats?
What?
Hey, Roger, do you feel deflated right about now?
Yeah, exactly. What it's confusing because the NFL did an investigation of the Washington football team, and they're investigating Dan Snyder and the hostile work environment that was created there, which contains sexual. There was a sexual assault allegation against Dan Snyder that's wrapped up in all of this that he paid $1.6 million for back in 2020. Sexual misconduct, sexual harassment in the workplace. And the reasons being investigated is because the NFL's investigation, they refused to release. Remember, we were chanting, release the emails, release the emails.
They're never going to release the emails.
Release
They're
their
gonna have to do a
findings.
federal subpoena. It's the only way.
And they believe that the NFL is not holding Dan Snyder accountable for what actually transpired. And they are trying to learn as much about that and essentially, I think, force the NFL to actually punish Dan Snyder in an appropriate way. And in digging all this up is when we learned about Dan Snyder possibly stealing money from the rest of the owners, which is why like a month ago, we're like, oh, this is going to be the thing that actually sinks Dan Snyder. And Goodell went and testified because Congress asked him to. Snyder refused to show up, and now they are going to subpoena Snyder to force him to testify.
Apparently, cruising on a yacht outside the shores of France is more important than his football team.
TLDR, what you're saying is the NFL basically is not holding Washington accountable, and so now Congress is doing a deep dive saying, show us what you found, NFL. Is that, do I have that right?
Yes.
Here's the way you get to it. Here's what you say to them right now. Look, you're going to release those emails or we're shredding your antitrust. So somebody else does that.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Goodell has been parrying all these questions like, get out of here. Goodell is too powerful. He's powerful than half of Congress, more powerful than half of Congress.
He said he has no power.
Dan Snyder will say,
but I'm just saying, if he goes back to his offices, he's like, make sure none of those people ever get reelected again. Like, I'm just saying, Goodell and the NFL is very powerful. I don't
suicide
think
via
ever
to the back of the
ever
head.
get released.
Clinton special.
Yes. This is like what they did. Remember when they did steroids in baseball? They were like, you'll get in here. You got to stop having steroids. Have steroids been ousted from baseball?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do we have
Nobody-
any,
Congress doesn't
do
solve
we have
run
any more
records.
NFL news that we want to touch on before we move on?
The
We do
Ravens,
have-
man. I feel
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad.
Can we?
Oh
Yes.
man.
So for
Two in the
those,
same day?
yeah.
Both on the
So
same day.
basically, we lost Tony Siragusa from the Ravens, and we also lost, I believe, Jalen Ferguson as well. So if you guys would like to pay your respects in the chat right now, would be an appropriate time to do that. But for you guys to anyone who knows or saw these people play, you guys want to talk about these people, how they were on the field, if you remember them. Anyone want to take this? Tony Siragusa was a beast.
I remember watching a lot of Tony Siragusa, especially being a Ravens Steelers fan. That dude was a pain in the ass to play against. He was a just physical shit wrecker. He destroyed offensive lines. He had this larger than life personality that's shown throughout, like even the Super Bowl runs. Some like I think it was the first Hard Knocks. I think the first one was in Baltimore. Like Siragusa was just like, he just did not give a shit. He was just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, talk to me about being a rookie and then you'll be fine. Because, I mean, dude was a Pitt alum. I mean, he played 7 years for the Colts beforehand. People tend to forget that. I tend to forget that.
Yeah.
But he shone in Baltimore. He was still pretty good. I think he was still like a sideline reporter for Fox, if I remember correctly.
I remember he did an opening skit to the 2000 Super Bowl, like as it was like a Godfather type skit with him and Michael Strahan, and then they went out and proceeded to crush the Giants into minced garlic, and he was just like I said, he was a beast. And then he was great as a sideline reporter. I think what was funny was his second year or his first year of being a sideline reporter. You could clearly tell that he was just winging it there like we do on this show. And it was funny. It was really funny. He was just like, there'd be some awkward moments where he didn't know how to get out of the segment. But for the most of it, like it was pretty much that way his entire career as a sideline reporter. But I loved it. I thought it was great.
My most of my memories of him are as a sideline reporter. If I'm being like completely honest, it was just, to me in my mind, it was just some dude who I could relate to because he wasn't all buttoned up like these other reporters. He wasn't like the stereotypical sideline reporter. It was the goose on the sideline. So rest in peace, Tony Siragusa, and also Jalen Ferguson.
So what? Well. I don't understand what happened to Ferguson. What
they don't know yet.
They don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's up in the air.
Yeah,
crazy.
Siragusa, there's nothing there. I'm guessing it might be heart related because I saw this interview yesterday when he did on Howard Stern where his dad died at 48 of a heart attack. Plus, he was a bigger dude himself, so it's kind of creepy. So he mentioned like, hey, if I die, don't feel bad for me. Just bury me, play some Sinatra, call it a day. So that's probably what's going to happen.
Absolutely. We're going to transition, though, from NFL down to college football. I don't know if any of you guys saw
big story.
Arch Manning
to Texas.
Committed.
Texas, yeah. Do you realize how relevant that program is?
So first of all, we got two things to talk about. First of all, Arch Manning commits to the University of Texas. That's A. B, the University of Ohio was awarded the trademark for the word the Ohio State. They got the trademark for the. Okay, let's start with Arch Manning, though. Legacy, okay? Eli, Peyton, Archie, now Arch. He chooses Texas, though, not Ole Miss, not Hotty Toddy. 5, what are we thinking?
Isn't he Cooper's son, right? He's not Peyton so he doesn't have the Peyton or Eli
it's still
genes.
The name, though. It's the name.
It is Manning. It must be tough. I listen. he's going to be in the SEC dealing with some insane level defenses.
Oh, baby.
He better have speed on his. That was what Archie was known for, was for running. The one clip that I saw of Arch was against some very weak high school competition. But you can't blame him for who he had to play. I just know that no matter who you are, whether your last name is Manning or Tebow or whatever, it's hard playing in the SEC, and it's going to be tough for him. So,
dude, he's going
congrats.
to light it up.
Brandon, what are you seeing? What are you seeing, Brandon?
He is son of Cooper Manning, noted as the most athletic Manning there ever was, but had to end his playing career because of spinal stenosis. He was a wide receiver, not even a quarterback, guys. So, one, think about Peyton Manning, but being able to run. That's who Arch Manning is going to be. The real question is, how many records will Arch Manning break in college? And also, I think this is strategic by the Manning's plan to take over the world. Each Manning is going to a different college. Therefore, they are building a fan base in a new state. None of them ever played in Texas, so they get one of the biggest states now to support one more of their family members. They've got Ole Miss, they've got Tennessee, they've got Colorado, they've got Indiana. They've got New York City. The Mannings are planning to basically become the longest running presidential dynasty of the United States of America.
So they're the new Kennedys.
And they're going to switch parties every other election.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad of the Mannings governing the United States of America. Tom, what are we thinking? Arch Manning, new legacy. Is Texas back?
No.
All I'm going to say is I want a commercial with Matthew McConaughey and Arch Manning just driving down a deserted highway in just some Matthew McConaughey voiceover, and then that's it. There's no explanation.
What are they
no
talking
context
about? Oh,
whatsoever.
it's like one of those weird Lincoln commercials.
Yep,
but
it's a Lincoln commercial.
Yep.
And then they're like, go horns, or whatever they say.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em horn.
Hook 'em
Sure,
horns.
whatever. Don't
Hook
care.
'em go.
During the commercial, he
all
announces
I've
his transfer to A&M.
Say it again.
And then after the commercial ends, he announces his transfer to A&M or USC.
It's very possible. All I've been seeing online is basically a whole bunch of people saying, look, y'all are hyping this man up a lot. He's not as good as y'all say he is. Look at this. So we'll see. We will see how it plays out. Moving on, though.
Do you think? Oh, wait. Oh, go ahead.
Ohio State University awarded the trademark for the letter the. When you think of the word, the word the. When you think of the, do we think Ohio State University?
Yes, or here's where it comes into question.
SpongeBob.
You got Miami, you got the U, right? So are they not allowed to say the U?
How about
are they
the University of Notre Dame?
Are they U?
The Penn State University.
The Penn State, like
Then
how you trademark probably the most used word in the dictionary besides A, right? A and the Ohio State. So I can't be the University of Alabama.
I can't be the
Auburn.
urinating tree. I can't.
No one can say I can't be the 5 points vids. What about the Try Guys?
Is this just for college teams?
How does this work?
Basically, the way trademarks works are they're in different classes. So this is probably within the I didn't look at the trademark, but it might be within the clothing class. So it could be you can't have the when you're talking about another sports team, or I'm not really entirely sure. It could be in a different class altogether. I'm not sure.
What about the Lady Volunteers?
That's actually interesting. Do they sue for the Batman?
I mean, it depends which class it's in. But when you think, I don't know. Is there anything else like this in sports with sports teams where it's like a word that describes
the 12th man?
12th man.
Who do you think? Are we thinking Seattle?
Well, no, that was Texas A&M that actually had the 12th man. That's why Seattle had to change to the 12s.
Yes.
Because then they changed back to the 12th man because they actually paid for it now.
Yeah, they pay.
This only
A&M money.
applies to clothing, basically.
Clothing
is what I'm reading.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
the merch. So you can make the coffee. Is that what it's saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
About the bench warmer brew.
Yeah.
The
Better have a shirt on
bench
it.
warmer.
Armchair blend.
Good plug.
So
sir,
here's a question, and then we can this might be a short episode. We might end early today, unless you guys would like to talk about anything else
No,
before we end with the NBA. But what the heck? It literally just left me what I was about to say.
Because I said we all suck.
It just left me. So then let's go ahead and transition to our final topic.
Had to bring it back, baby.
Heck
Our
yeah.
final topic of the day, the Orlando Magic getting ready in a couple of hours to select the number 1 draft pick. Are you guys following? Are you aware of the top couple of picks who could be taken? Do you care at all about the NBA? Tom?
I think the first overall pick for the NBA is probably going to come down to Isaiah Thomas, or it's probably going to be Michael Jordan. Could be Reggie Wayne, but I'm really liking that kid out of Utah. I think he's gonna take it to the shooter. He's gonna score a goal and round of Jack Daniels for everybody.
Absolutely. 5. What's your analysis?
The Knicks are picking at 11. They better take somebody from the Balkan Peninsula. That's all I have to say. Like, if he's Serbian or whatever, I don't care. As long as he's if he enjoys weird weird horror movies and his last name ends in IC, put him on the team.
So you're a Knicks fan, not a Nets fan.
No, God, no.
No.
When he was growing up, the Nets were in New
Nets
Jersey.
They're not.
They were out in
not.
Camden and
That's
Newark.
Someone who lives in New York, nobody's a Nets
That's
fan.
fair.
They are.
I am a fan of the team that gave Allen Houston $27 million and he never played a game again.
I can't relate.
My team.
Listen, that's my Grant Hill. Okay. Tree, who's your NBA team and who do you want them to pick?
I don't really have an NBA team. I grew up liking the Raptors when I was younger. So unfortunately, I don't know that much about it. They're probably picking mid to late teens. Main thing is I really don't know anything about the NBA draft. So
That's fair.
Any guess that I make is just going to be an educated guess. I know Chet Holmgren's supposed to be one of the top prospects in this draft. So I hope he goes to the Magic and flops so I can laugh at Scooter a little more. So you know what? I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Like everyone else that goes to Gonzaga.
Listen, you can come over. You can be a Magic fan. We are taking applications right now. If you don't have a team, now's the time to get on the bandwagon. Dynasty starts in 2 years. Who are the Denver Nuggets selecting Brandon Perna? Have you been following at all? Who do you want, if anyone?
Well, they pick at 21. So
Okay.
I have no idea who they'd be selecting there. What I want them to do is trade away that pick in an attempt to acquire a star, somebody that will take them over the top. Maybe old Dame Lillard from the Portland Trailblazers.
Okay.
Can we get a guy who can shoot and stay healthy to pair with Nikola Jokic? Maybe even, I don't know, Bradley Beal just declined his $36.4 million player option, wants to go play for a winner. Come to Denver, Bradley.
You get Kevin Durant.
Denver
I'm sure he
actually
can make
is
himself
a
available.
great team. Like, that's a good young team over there. We gave y'all Aaron Gordon. So
Yeah, he's been great. And they've been like, they got into the postseason without Jamal Murray and MPJ. So they'll be better just by getting Jamal Murray back. But if they can grab one more piece, unstoppable.
Nuggets, a great young team.
I don't care
NBA
about
right
money.
now. It's kind of
I don't care about
unfortunate you
somebody
guys are in
else's
the
money.
West because it's going to be hard to get out of the West. But I like that team over there. I also like that y'all gave us Bol shouts out. Now it comes to the Orlando Magic. Who do I want? It's really between 3 people. It's between Paulo Banchero, it's between Chet Holmgren, and it's between who I think the Orlando Magic are going to draft, who all the outlets are saying the Orlando Magic is going to draft Jabari Smith. It's who I am expecting in 2 hours and 10 minutes for the Orlando Magic.
Is this one of those weaker drafts where there's like no clear number one, where you don't really?
It's not that it's a weaker draft. It's just that there is no clear number one because 1, 2, 3, and 4 could literally all be all-stars. Or
so it's going to be based on need, is what
you guys should take Paulo. You should take Paulo.
So basically, I would be happy with Paulo, Chet, or Jabari. I just
coolest name. Also, Napoleon is part of his name. It is Paulo Napoleon. Oh my God, I gotta look it up. Damn it!
Look it up. Yeah.
What's his full name? Paulo Napoleon James Boncaro.
Yes.
Hey. So Italian
American player, making him a guy. What a cha-cha.
Let me set it up for you. If you have no idea what's going on tonight in the NBA draft, this is what you need to know for the top 3. Chet Holmgren, unicorn-like player. No one like him. There's
Son
no
of Mike Holmgren.
He could be like a better Porzingis, way better Porzingis. Okay,
that's Porzingis for all the crap.
Accusations there. Wow,
you know, like how he talked all that crap. He had one good season, and then he got traded out to Dallas in a surprise move, and then he's just not as good as he's injured again.
So that's why some people
did all right his
are
first
like
3 games in Washington.
Some people look at Porzingis and say we don't want to draft another Porzingis. No. So that's why some people are cold on Chet because they're saying this is just another Porzingis.
Just another one.
Okay.
Well, also, his name is that happened with Lamar Jackson. Remember, like they didn't want to draft another RG3. That's why he fell so far in the draft.
Then you
That's
have
true.
That's true. That is true. Then you have Paulo Boncaro, 6'10". This is like a scorer. Okay, we're talking like Carmelo Anthony player comp. This is a Carmelo Anthony who's 6'10".
This is Chet. This is the guy you want.
That is not a number 1 overall pick.
And that's
I'm
Chet
just telling
right
you.
there.
He looks like he's a computer programmer in the tech division entry level. He's the guy who's calling you about your extended warranty.
He looks like one of the background characters in 2K. Like he just never doesn't get a speaking role in my career.
Victor Wembanyama.
Some people are cold on Chet because they don't like his attitude. He's coming in hot. He's saying, someone asked him, who's the best player in the NBA? Chet says, it's me when I get drafted. So
a little Josh
you
Rosen.
For Gonzaga, you keep choking every single
year. A little
year.
9 mistakes. The best player is me.
We have
Dwayne Haskins,
Smith.
the league done messed up, and he was technically right.
Yeah.
Lastly, we have Jabari Smith, who I think the Magic will be drafting because he fits our team perfectly. Also 6'10", but this is one of the best 3-point shooters in the draft. He's shooting at 42%, long, super long, just turned 19, and I think he's going to be a stalwart in our offense and defense. So
Dante Stalwart.
We will see. If there's nothing left, though, to discuss, anything you guys want to discuss?
The Bucks have pick number 24. They're going to pick a good person.
Okay.
Just to wrap up, the Austin Matthews won the MVP for the NHL, which is called the Hart Trophy, and then Igor Shesterkin won the Vezina, and
he's on the Rangers.
Cale Makar won the Norris Trophy, which is best defenseman. And
all hail,
pretty much, yeah. There's all it is.
Are you going to go to Game 5?
Yeah,
waiting for the Avalanche
make a video
to confirm that they're going to give me luxury box because tickets are a couple $1,000s right now.
And also, if the Lightning at this point, if we come back next week and the series is over, Tom will have jinxed both of our franchises, Scooter, by attending that Game 5 between the Lightning and the Rangers. So. Yeah,
and he wore Packers gear to it.
Unless he's gonna surprise show up in Colorado. Yes,
I got a lot of
why we lost
in New York. And at MSG, I was walking past. I was grabbing some food, and they're like, "Go Pack!" I was like, "Let's go."
Oh, Tom, where was your Packcast banner? Where was that shown?
Oh, yes.
So, was that Raw or something?
Yeah, right? It was AEW last night on Dynamite. It was the front row. So Ron, who has been a mod for quite some time, said he was going to AEW, got front row, and had the sign. So yeah, Tom Grassi's all elite, baby. Let's go.
Let's
That was
go.
hilarious. I
Let's
saw a
go.
ton of people tweeting that.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so I forgot. So I had a punishment last week. It was to paint Bigfoot PORN,
Erotica.
but
Yes.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
so do I have to order that book? Like what?
No, you
I
don't have
thought-
to order the book. No.
Oh,
no.
I thought so. Whoever gets punished this week has to get the book, and then they have to read it. So it's a 2-part punishment.
They got to read some passages. Yeah,
Okay.
I would think it's best when you're painting just to give you like some inspiration. I think that
Yes.
would go really well.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I'll paint it as it's being read. Excellent.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, can we do the countdown so that we can get?
Now presenting to you,
Sped up.
Tom Grossi in the Flippy Floppy Flappy game.
2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 4. I'm starting to run out of things that rhyme with 4. It's really getting bad. We've been doing the show a lot, but that's okay because I'm gonna go take vitamins. That's not pot. It's just the Flintstones.
Ollie Shore.
Got it. Nailed it.
Door.
Okay.
Ron.
I'll
Hey.
start off. I'm at 129.19 cents.
Yes,
Wow.
82.95. Let's go, boys.
$16.99. I'm safe.
69.55. So
5308.
Oh,
Who won?
Son of a
Scoot's
gun.
got to read the
Scoots.
erotica.
Gotta
What?
order Bigfoot erotica. Bigfoot erotica.
Y'all are weird.
Even better. So, like, here's the thing. Scooter has been putting on his channel recently, right? I saw it on the Twitters, like the memorizing of the Bible verses, right? And it's read with a lot of enthusiasm. I'm just saying, I want that same energy, but we're talking about Bigfoot. And be like, and he came out of the trees. Came out.
Y'all are weird. I will do
Jesus,
this.
Jesus broke bread, but Bigfoot's gonna break your back.
Gosh, what have I gotten myself into? Before we close this out, let's go around and say what we're all going to be putting out on our channels recently. Please pray for me for this challenge. I will be putting out Game 4 and then the Orlando Magic reaction video tomorrow. Tom, what's coming out on your channel?
I don't know. Tomorrow, GPS, Brandon Parr and I were ranking all 32 starting QBs in the NFL. So we're gonna rock. We got Poppy.
We're ranking
Hello.
all dogs.
Aw.
on
Oh,
our-
yeah.
He loves you,
Oh,
though, man.
Chad, so much.
What's this
Alright,
dog's
Levi.
name?
Yeah, Coach Saturday.
Finn.
Who cares, though?
That is the love of my life. And,
Finn?
Finn. Finn.
Finn.
And
Can we get Finn in the comments? Stop
Yes.
playing.
Finn. This is my favorite dog ever.
Okay, what's coming out on your channel though? You should be putting
Oh,
out compilations of Finn.
After this show, I have a story about this minor league pitcher who was shot and killed in 1995, and it's his teammate actually solved them. Oh, there's a pupper. Are our dogs related?
They do look similar.
They do look very similar.
Stop smelling our
But
snatch.
no one ever
Aw.
covered the story.
He's trying to grab
because
the mic.
They were replacement.
Oh, big old
dogs.
schnauzer.
Poppy.
Yep.
And then there's the big guy right here. He's underneath the desk. He's like
Oh.
80 pounds. So
You talking about your penis?
Oh,
Tom?
that's a-
look at that
Oh,
dog.
who's this?
Ah, you're a
Look
big
at
boy.
that dog. It's
He's like,
a
okay,
dog
let me
dog.
down, human.
Oh, what happened? What happened? I know.
What's
It's
his
dinner time.
name?
That's Dash. I just call him Moose though.
Dash. Okay. Brandon, what's coming out on your
Incredible.
channel? Stop playing.
I just dropped a video today. Little Avs coverage, a little Dan Snyder coverage, a little Russell Wilson coverage. Tomorrow, I'm just ranking the QBs with Dom, and then getting ready for the weekend, baby.
Tree.
Well, I just released a video of me being incredibly terrible at baseball. You should
Oh, yeah.
watch it because it's just cringe in its purest form. And I feel like it best symbolizes how terrible I am at sports. So that's what I've been to.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. This has been Clickbait Sports. We will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Goodbye.
Same bat place.